Yeah, obviously not the outcome that we wanted. We talked the last 2 days in preparation for this game that our margin for error against the best team in the league, they proved it tonight, is really small. And the problem is we had too many errors, and really felt like we beat ourselves. And I think they would agree with that as well. And the stats bear that out. They had 18 points off our turnovers to our 4. They beat us 38-18 on points in the paint. We had 11 offensive rebounds, but failed to really convert many second chance points. And then in the third quarter, we kind of fell asleep at the wheel a little bit and got outscored 18-7. And then we came alive in the fourth quarter and made it interesting. So, we'll learn some things from this game and be better for it. I have a lot of belief in this team. I think this team has a pretty sizable margin for improvement. And I think our best basketball is certainly still ahead of us. But we got exposed a little bit today against a really good team, but still had our chances to win. And we'll make some improvements and move on quickly to our game on Saturday.
Questions for our two student athletes? Yeah, so this could be for Jenna or Bridget. When you're playing a game with a team like Ball State, they can beat you in more ways than one. Shooting threes, going into the post. Could you describe the challenges that they present?
Yeah, they're a really good team, and like you said, with teams like that, small margin of error, and basketball is a game of runs, but especially against a team like that, you got to try and limit their runs as much as possible. And like you said, the third quarter, we kind of lost them there a little bit, and we kind of dug ourselves into a hole. But I think we just got to clean it up on our end. Like you said, we beat ourselves, but we have a lot of time to learn from it and fix it. So.
What do games like this mean for you guys in MAC play going forward? What do you really learn from these types of games?
We always talk about how, every night's just one game of the season. It's a long season, so you got to learn from it quick, obviously, let it soak in. It's not a great feeling. We got to learn from it and, get ready for another game because we play again on Saturday. So it's just kind of see it how it is and then move on, but learn from your mistakes for sure.
And we always know these MAC games are very physical, very chippy at times. How do you guys keep your composure even when it kind of feels like everything's come down on you?
I think just worrying about ourselves and not focusing on what the other team is doing, but also I think we as a team need to get more physical because a lot of the MAC teams are very physical, and a lot of times the refs won't call it. They'll let us play a lot. So I think that's something you got to kind of manage throughout the game, see how the refs are calling it, but just focus on us and not about what they're doing.
And then, when you guys are down by a sizable margin like that, what goes through your mind when you're trying to claw your way back into it?
I think a big thing for us is just take it 1 point at a time. There's no 14-point basket in basketball, so it's just one possession at a time. We focus on getting, score, stop, score, and then just keep that going. But, just break it down. Don't, put it all on one play. It's going to take some time, but just chip away at it.
Bridget, you had a decent run in the fourth quarter. What was the message coming out of the third that kind of empowered you to get those shots to fall?
Yeah, I just trust my teammates. They're moving off the ball, getting me good looks, and they trust me to shoot it. So, when I'm open, that's what I'm going to do. And I think for us, we just had to respond from the third quarter because, like he said, we, got outscored 18-7. So just kind of putting that in the back of your mind, and we got to make it somehow. So.
Anything else for Bridget or Jenna? There were multiple times throughout the game it seemed like there's some rush passes, some rush sets, some rush shots. What's kind of the message when you see that and you're just trying to calm the players down, just tell them just to focus on what they can control?
Yeah, I think, once again, good teams put you in that mindset if you allow it to happen, and speed you up. I thought Ball State did a good job of really playing, like we said, physical through the paint, and I thought they did a better job of executing than we did offensively. Certainly some things for us to review, coaching-wise, if we're calling the right sets at the right time. Are we executing what we're calling And then are we, like, the empty possessions are such a, against good teams convert mistakes of other teams. And that Ball State did that at a much higher clip than we did today. And so, once again, lessons learned, trying to figure out who we are. Not figure out who we are. We know who we are. We just have to get back to who we are is really the biggest message. And do it in short order because we have there's a good Western Michigan team coming in here on Saturday.
Outside of the third quarter, the team played a really good 3/4 of a basketball game. So while there has been a lot of talk of the negatives, the turnovers, maybe some of the paint problems, what are some of the positives that you're going to take away from this game, from otherwise a close game against the best team in the conference?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, the only positive really is the fact that we made the number of mistakes we did and we still had an opportunity to win. I mean, that's the positive. And you say, well, if we clean those things up, then this is definitely a winnable game. I think Ball State, if you ask them, I think they would say the same thing. Like, that we uncharacteristically kind of beat ourselves in a few pockets of the game. And if we clean those things up, we're in a good spot. So there is optimism to it, right? If we play our very best game and we lose by 9 or 10, that's a tougher thing at this point in the season than if you make mistakes and you say, well, if we clean those things up, this is a winnable game. So that'll be the message tomorrow. I mean, they'll be down on themselves because they know they didn't play their best. But at the same time, we have a veteran group. These two that were here, they get how quickly you have to turn around. And at the end of the day, I love coaching this group. This is a great group of young ladies. I get mad at them sometimes. They get mad at me sometimes, but that's all part of the process. And I got to mention the fact that Bridget Dunn had a double-double again. I mean, she's really become very consistent in playing through that, and the way she played today helped us out. Cover up some of those mistakes at times.
You mentioned Bridget Dunn's double-double. Talk a little bit about her leadership and what that kind of adds on the court.
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the things about Bridget is she knows what she's supposed to do, but really good players know what everybody else is supposed to do as well, and that's one of the things that she does. She knows where everybody's supposed to be. She knows what everybody's defensive assignment is. She came in, her improvement every year has been not just incremental, but last year at the end of the year that's carried over this year. Bridget's a player who came out of high school who was not a rebounder at her size. She was more of a perimeter player, shooter, and now she's developed into one of the better defensive rebounders in the country. And so just really proud of her progress and her leadership with this team, and Jenna as well. Those two have really been central figures in what we've been able to do the last few years.
And then, with Janae, her numbers might not jump out on you at the stat sheet, but, it felt like every time she scored or grabbed a rebound, it had an impact on the game. Could you speak a little bit about her impact and performance today?
Yeah, I mean, Janae, she missed 8 of our first 9 games. I mean, it takes a while to get into game rhythm and game shape and all that type of thing. And so Janae just keeps getting better and back to where, she finished the end of last season. I think she will continue to have a bigger and bigger impact on the game as we progress through conference play. I like the progression of Riley Rissmiller as well. We have a nice combination with there. And the other thing I think to focus on as well is we've played virtually all of the top teams in the league right here in the first 5 games. We've had a tough start schedule-wise. I would have liked to have played better in a few of our games, but the season is just like Janae's progress. The season is also a whole process for us to go through. And once again, we've said it 1,000 times, our goal is to be playing our best basketball at the end of February and early March when the games matter most.
Anything else, Coach?
Just one more thing. Just to end it, I know you did say that, the ultimate goal is to win, but how do you feel your team did fight back multiple times to make it a close game? And, if a shot falls here or there, or a turnover doesn't happen, this could have went another way. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's important to have the right perspective while also not accepting losing, right? And so I think losing is a disease, and it starts to creep into your team, and players start to accept it, and then all of a sudden it's just something that we identify quickly, we don't accept, and we move on. We have an expectation of winning, and so we have to keep the tension on that. And they know that they want to win. This is a group that has won before. They want to win, and you'll blink and the season will be over, and we talk about it all the time. So we can't squander any opportunities to win games, and felt like we let one get away today. And so I think they'll be ready to go tomorrow in practice in the next couple of days, preparing for Saturday.